Make sure that you do check out gaming-fans.com for guides and videos on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. In this video today I'm going to give my best possible advice on how to increase your rank in the arena. I mainly will be discussing the arena and slightly touching on other areas, but the main topic here today is about increasing your rank and maintaining it. So let's discuss about building a team. What may seem currently good for you right now may not be currently good in the higher levels. In a lot of instances you cannot jump from A to C without crossing B. A really good example of this is if you are wanting to go for an Empire team, you're going to need 5 7-star rebels to obtain Emperor Palpatine. This is of course if you are wanting a 7-star Emperor Palpatine. I've heard a lot recommend the use of droids to increase your arena rank. Well, in this video I'm going to tell you not to farm droids, as this will only work as a temporary fix to increase your arena rank. The required resources and time to make them arena viable could hurt your progression in the long run. They are great for the tank takedown raid and worth the farm and gearing for that. But this is something you should be looking into once you have a strong arena team. At higher levels and as the game progresses, droids lose their arena viability versus the more advanced teams, which is going to happen sooner rather than later, as everybody is trying to advance and progress like yourself. There is always hope that droids get a Zeta or a rework, but the question is if and when. There is one droid that you should farm for the arena, and that is B2 Super Battle Droid, but we will come back to him later. If you wasn't already aware, there is a character cadence in place. Pretty much what this is, once any new character is placed into the chromiums, around 4 to 6 weeks later these characters are going to be farmable in a node or shipments. Sharut, Baze, Cassian, K2SO and Jan should be farmable by the end of this month. It could be a little longer, or they may be deployed in pairs, but nevertheless, as long as they are not added to a hard node, these are very solid characters that will help increase your arena rank. My pre-advice is to work on Sharut and Baze as quick as possible, as this pair really can go into any team. They are currently the best investment that you can make into any two characters, Baze being an auto taunter and dispeller, Sharut is an attacking healer and cleanses. These two have top tier synergy when they are in the same team. An example of a really good team would be a Wedge leadership followed by Biggs, Baze, Sharut and B2 or Boba Fett. But we cannot go on the presumption that we're all going to have access to Baze and Sharut. There is a possibility they could go into a hard node or the highest tier of the Cantina. So we need to look for alternatives. We still have that journey from A to C, depending what your personal C destination is. We're going to need to get to B first. We need to set you up with a clear goal and destination to achieve this. So let's look at characters to farm that are going to help towards the increase of your arena rank and also help towards farming Zetas. In guild shipments I would suggest to farm Rex, Sunfac and Darth Maul. Rex is one of these characters that lasts through different metas and has a solid leadership. He also comes equipped with a cleanse ability and provides your entire team with turn meter gain. Sunfac hasn't aged as well through the metas, but is a solid dispeller taunter and has a counter attack. Darth Maul is the current meta once Zetaed and paired with other strong Sith or characters. There is one thing these characters all share in common. All three of these characters are pilots, Rex being a light side pilot, Sunfac and Darth Maul being a dark side pilot. You could be asking yourself, why is this irrelevant? As the arena progresses, Zeta abilities unlock the full current potential of your characters. At the moment there is only selected characters where a Zeta can be applied to them. To obtain Zetas from the ability challenge you need to have 8 times 5-star ships and a 5-star Executrix capital ship. Executrix is Grand Moff Tarkin's capital ship. To obtain this capital ship at 5-star you're going to need to have 5 4-star dark side only starships. It's quite important to your progression and resources to hit 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. Let's have a look at the Cantina battles area. Lando, Wedge, TIE Fighter Pilot, Geonosian Soldier, B2 Super Battle Droid and Kylo Ren are all solid farmable options. Lando, like droid teams, does lose his place in the arena at later stages due to the crit immunity mechanic provided by characters like General Kenobi and Shore Trooper. However, he is a great starter character for the arena and can be used in the tank takedown, droid smuggler and the credit heist events. He is also a rebel which can be counted as one of your 5 rebels to unlock Emperor Palpatine. Wedge is a must own. The synergy between him and Biggs is one of the best in the game. He is also a rebel and a starship pilot. TIE Fighter pilot is a must own for any Empire team and is a dark side pilot. Geonosian soldier is okay for the arena at lower levels but definitely does not exist in the higher levels of the arena, but is also a dark side pilot. Kylo Ren is a great universal character. He recently had a rework which now puts him into the place of a top tier arena character. B2 Super Battle Droid is another must own. He is definitely the best Dispeller currently in game and is a very solid option for offense and defense. Once you have acquired or set up your destination, you should definitely look into other characters like Jawa, Jedi Knight Anakin and Ayla Secura. In the Cantina shipments has to be Boba Fett. One of the best universal characters in the game. He can ability block his enemies and execute them. He is also a dark side pilot. After you have acquired Boba Fett, I would advise to go after Qui-Gon Jinn, Fives and Ahsoka Tano. Qui-Gon Jinn would be mainly used for the pit, or if you decide to Zeta him for the arena. Fives and Ahsoka are both light side pilots. In the hard nodes, I would advise to focus on First Order TIE Fighter pilot. He don't have a solid place in the arena without a Captain Phasma Zeta leadership, but he is a dark side pilot and sometimes it can take a while to star up this character with the minimum shards that you do acquire. In the arena shipments, I would advise to go after Stormtrooper Han first. He is great at the lower levels and a great sub character to taunt and provide turn meter to your entire team. After you have acquired Stormtrooper Han, I would then advise to go after Chief Nabit. We will discuss more on Chief Nabit once we start talking about mods. In Galactic War, it's quite straightforward that you do want to be going for Biggs so you can start building that synergy with Wedge. Biggs is also a rebel and a pilot. If you are new to the game, then Luminara may be best for yourself so you have a healer for Galactic War before you do farm Biggs. After you have gathered the additional characters that you need from here like Teebo, Dacha and Captain Phasma, I would highly advise that you do start farming starships. Over in the fleet store, again my advice is to completely go after starships and build your fleet sooner rather than later. This is going to allow you to be prepared for the Zeta challenge once you unlock it, or if any other future ship content is released like a ship raid. As starships is currently the only place that you can acquire Zeta ability materials, it's quite important that you don't allow your progression to decline in this area. My advice here is to work on the starship blueprints of Slave 1 and Scimitar the most, following by any ships you have or are currently working on any pilots for. Let's now discuss mods. Mods are extremely important to your overall progression of the game in all game modes. Characters come and go, but mods are the only current thing that can be moved around and are not locked to a character like credits, ability mats and gear. I would advise farming mods as much as possible, even if this means on day 1 you farm character shards, on day 2 you then farm mods and keep rotating this method. Or even do a 3-day mod farm followed by a 4-day character shard farm and repeat this every week. I would advise that you complete both health and defense mod challenges when you can, as this will increase the chance of 5. Mods appearing in the mod shop. To enter the defense mod challenge, you're going to need to have Jedi. And to enter the critical damage mod challenge, you're going to need to have Jawas. Critical damage mods, in my opinion, are far superior to any other mod set. This is because critical damage is the only stat that cannot be obtained as a secondary. Jawa Engineer is farmable in the guild shipments. Jawa is farmable in the Cantina. Jawa Scavenger is farmable in the Cantina shipments. Chief Nabit is farmable in the arena shipments. And lastly, Dacha is farmable in the Galactic War shipments. I would advise that you do work on these so you can unlock this challenge, but we're going to discuss what health mods can do and what the mod store will do for you. Health mods are generally a good start at farming. I would advise this over defense mods. You want to be looking out for green, blue, purple and gold mods, preferably with speed secondaries. Grey mods are non-rare, they will only place secondary stats and will not increase them. Grey mods that are worth the leveling in my opinion are speed arrow and critical damage triangle primary stat mods. Other than that, the secondary stats will not increase past the base stats that are applied. So no crazy speeds from these. I believe the highest speed obtained from these mods are 5. If you need a primary stat from these, like potency or protection, then it is worth the leveling. If you are looking for some good secondaries, I would advise to stay clear of these grey mods and do not purchase them from the mod store. Green mods are slightly better than grey mods. Again, if you need the primary, purchase it with credits or farm it and level it. The good thing about green mods is the base secondary stat that is already applied. This is guaranteed to increase. This is a nice and cheeky way to guarantee a speed secondary increase on this mod if speed was already applied as the only base stat. The other 3 base stats are random like the grey mods. Blue mods follow suit and have 2 random chances increasing the base stats. Each random chance will only increase one of the secondary stats. Purple have 3 random chances to increase the base stats. Gold will already show all 4 base stats and has 4 random chances to increase any of these base stats. These are all a roll of a dice and you are not guaranteed any speed increase except for the green mod that has a base speed secondary applied to it before leveling. Gold mods is where you're going to get the 20 plus speed if all 4 random chances increased your speed secondary. The chances are extremely low of this happening, but it's not impossible. The mod store is a great place to pick up some good mods. Always make sure that you have around 4 to 5 million saved in your bank. You can do this by not leveling characters that you are not currently working on and don't level mods you don't need. Mod sets and modding your characters correctly is very important. I have a few how to mod videos in my how to mod series on my YouTube channel. There is also some great how to mod guides on gaming-fans.com. As different characters can be modded in different ways, it's something that I cannot cover in this video, and I would suggest that you go and check out the video or guide for the character that you're wanting to know how to mod. Warrior from Team Instinct also has a really detailed guide on mods that is 40 minutes long. If you are wanting to know everything in depth about mods, I suggest that you do check that out. Let's talk about guilds before we make our way to finalise on arena teams that you can build. Guilds can increase your progression or decrease it. You really want to be joining a guild that is actively doing raids. Less raids means that you're going to be obtaining less gear. The best way to find a guild is not in-game, but via the official EA forums or Reddit. On Reddit you will be searching for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes guilds. So now that we have almost covered everything that affects your progression, let's finally move back to the arena and discuss some squads. A good team to run on the offense is a Rex leadership, a Boba Fett, an Emperor Palpatine, Sun Fac or Stormtrooper Han with TIE Fighter pilot. If you do own an auto taunter or you are in the progression of obtaining one, then I would advise not to put Sun Fac or Stormtrooper Han in this team and put in your auto taunter instead. A great leadership to increase your ranks is Darth Nihilus combined with Emperor Palpatine or any other Sith. You can still make a hybrid team here and use Darth Nihilus, Emperor Palpatine with Boba Fett for an example, with also a taunting tank and another character. Darth Nihilus is a great character and easy to gear up and is heavily used by the higher side of the arena. This character can really go into any team and is viable at a 3-star. Rebels are a great starter team and can be evolved into any top team with using a Rex leadership, something like a Rex lead, Wedge, Biggs, a taunting tank and B2. The new Phoenix squad, even at 3-star, look like a great team for the free to play. From the Hera leadership, they all share their uniques. And the great thing again, in around about 3.5 months, they're going to all be farmable. Sharut and Baze are going to be farmable anytime soon. You could either decide to go for a full Rogue One team or go for a Rex lead, Sharut, Baze and Wedge and Biggs. Once these 2 characters are farmable, you definitely need to go for Baze first as quick as possible really, so you're able then to have a auto taunter in your team to then build on it, and an auto taunter will do you wonders and help you so much on defense. There is a lot of options that you can start to do. You can adjust to a full Empire team, or even have an Empire team with an auto taunter, or even go for a Zeta leadership of your choosing. You can then start to work on great characters for the pit and the tank takedown. The main thing here today is that you create a solid arena team and keep farming mods. This is your #1 priority. The AAT is not going to give you crystals, nor will the pit. Gear is hard to acquire, so don't waste it on characters that you may never use. Save your credits for characters that you are currently working on and mods that are worth the purchase. Work on your pilots, work on your starships, and work towards getting some Zetas. But before you do Zeta a character, check to see what requirements you need in that team, like mods or characters. We have now come to the end of the video. I will be following up with videos from time to time with updates or changes from this current video. If you don't want to miss out on these great videos, then please make sure that you do hit the subscribe button so you receive notifications. Feel free to check out my other videos. I have a very huge library of videos on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. If you did enjoy this video, then please make sure that you do hit that like button. Thank you very much for watching. I'm the Smithy D. May the Force be with you, always.